Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Kathryn Mademann, and today I'm delighted to introduce you to James Williams, who's the Executive Director at the EOC. In our show, we're going to talk about all the interesting programs that are happening here at the Beaufort-Jasper County, so stay right there. We'll be right back.
.843 TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. And I am delighted to introduce you to Mr. James Williams, who is the Executive Director here at the Beaufort-Jasper EOC. Nice to see you, sir.
Good morning. Nice to see you again.
It's good to be back for another visit. It's the fall. There's a lot of things going on here and some new programs that are shifting around. And so in today's show, we want to talk about many of them. And so let's talk about an update. What do you think?
Okay. Well, as you said, the weather is about to change. We have our wonderful long summer. But as we get ready to transition into the fall, we start to look at a different initiative. We start to look at more heating versus cooling. Obviously, school has started. So our wonderful Head Start program is currently fully enrolled, and we're getting those children ready and getting prepared to enter into public school. And of course, as we start to look at the holiday season coming up, we want to have initiatives in place to support those families that may need some assistance during the holidays.
You're right, and there's a change of season. There's so much going on. So that was a big, broad stroke. So let's pull it back and let's talk about some of the details, okay? Because I think our viewers would like to know. This agency does so much for our community, the county. It helps families. It helps people who need a little help and some care. One thing we want to talk about is the Water Assistance Program, because I think that was a new initiative last year. And so what are we doing for it as now? It's a year old?
Well, it's not quite a year old. It started in October of last year. And basically, what we have always had is energy assistance. We've always helped with electricity, with gas. So in October, we started an initiative to help with water and sewer. And basically, the program is governed by the Department of Health and Human Services as well. And it support any household in the income ratio that is having any issues covering their water or sewer bills. And basically, any charges that any of the water companies have can be covered under this initiative for those particular clients. And what we have found is that a lot of families have issues with sewer problems, even installation when they're trying to install their water system in, and there's some connection fees. Those are covered as well, as long as they're billed to them through the provider.
Oh, it's not interesting. So this is really trying to keep families safe, healthy, and all the things that we can do to help, correct?
Correct. We do have a lot of rural residents, and as we try to get city and government water out to them, it can be a sizable cost for those individuals, and difficult for them to cover that cost so that they can have running water out to their homes. So this initiative tries to help and assist with that process.
Great. Well, that's wonderful to hear that. So let's talk about, we were talking about, heating and cooling. Our cooling days are hopefully numbered because we've had a really hot summer.
This is true.
I'd like you to switch over thinking about our heating. And that's also a program that you offer to many of the families.
So, as households get ready to switch off that AC and turn on their heating units, sometimes there's some necessary maintenance required. Sometimes we find after they're dormant for several months, there may be some repairs needed. There may be a surprise when they turn it on. So, we have a system in place to help with that transition, as well if there's a situation where it's not working at all. We have an emergency heating program so that we can provide some small emergency units so that provide heating in case the household is without heat and the weather has changed where it's in need. But the program, like I say, it actually officially starts in October. For us in our geographical location, it's not quite cold in October yet, but we surprisingly we may have a few days where it gets a little chill, and especially for our elderly clients. they're a lot of times they want to turn on their heat a little early.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. So let's take one pause for a second, because I know we sort of jumped in quickly, but let's talk about the EOC and how that is part of the community. Can you give us a sort of a broad stroke?
Well, the Economic Opportunity Commission is a state-based organization that filters out not only just in our wonderful community, but across the entire state of South Carolina, to provide assistance for those households that live at a percentage of the federal poverty guideline or at a low cost of the state medium income. And is to provide assistance in a variety of different ways. But the community service block grants allows us to partner with all of these human service organizations within our community and to provide any emergency relief for any household need, medical need, or family need that those low-income households may experience. We have had the pleasure of serving Beaufort and Jasper County since 1965. So we've been here well over 50 years, and we are very indebted into each municipality here to support them and their initiatives as well. Every community has different initiatives they want to push for their citizens, and we're here to support those.
Right, I can understand that. Can you give us perspective? I mean, how many people, how many families are we helping?
Well, it's amazing that we see basically about 100 families a day in our client assistance for one need or another between our two locations. We impact about 100 clients each and every day. And some days are intense. We are running some health and wellness programs and some food and nutrition programs where we may encounter up to 100 to 150 clients just in those initiatives alone.
Wow.
So especially with the food and nutrition, we know that in the current status that we are in our economy, food and nutrition is very, very prominent. And so we may sometimes, especially on our Thursday and Friday initiatives, we may impact up to 300 citizens in the county.
That's amazing. Well, I think there's so much more to talk about, so we'll be right back with more A43 TV.